This is the Fly Fishing Consultant Podcast, Series 1, Episode 6, Tying Flies. In the last podcast, I talked about materials used, vernacular in tying flies, and descriptions of how to tie a fly. Now I'm going to show you how to tie one. Laid out in front of me on my fly tying bench is my mise en place, all the materials ready to go for me to use. I have the tail materials here, which is rabbit zonker strips. I have rooster tail feathers for hackle. You would find these in feather dusters. It's got a nice iridescence. I have the body material, which is peacock estaz. A little bit of flash, crystal flash. You can see that in the sunlight. Tools, I'm going to use scissors. Black thread, heavy duty so it's not going to break. A whip finisher, my Regal C-clamp vise, size 4 long streamer hook, and a gold cone head. Let's put all these together and make a fly. What I'm going to do first is take the hook and the bead. I'm going to slide the cone head or bead up to the eye of the hook. Now I'm going to start the thread by wrapping it from the base over itself to ensure that the thread will not come loose. I'm going to cut off any remaining material. The first part of the fly is going to be the tail. I'm going to take the rabbit strip, measure it to see about the length of the fly. You'll notice that the actual hide is shorter than the piece itself. I'm going to cut that. And I'm going to tie that down just above the point. Now for fun, I'm going to put on just a little piece of flash just to allow this fly to be a little more bright in the water. And just wrap that in nice and easy and cut it to be just a little bit longer than the actual fly. Alright, the next step is to take a piece of the rooster tail or hackle and cut that to size. You notice the iridescence in the sunshine, some of the properties I'm looking for. So I'm going to tie it in from the point about right here, just above where I tied in the rabbit. So you can see there's a little depression between where I've tied in the rabbit and where the actual rabbit is. That's where I'm tying that in. The next step is take the body material, the estaz, and tie that in again, nice and tight, and I'm going to just wrap the thread up towards the cone. Very simple. Now I'm going to take the material and wrap the body up towards the cone. I'm not looking for any sort of even distribution. This is all going to be covered up by the rooster tail or hackle when I'm done. Just a little bit more of a body behind the cone, and I'm going to tie that off. Alright, nice and tight. There you go. Now I want to make sure that when I'm wrapping the rooster tail that it's bent at a certain angle. I don't want the feathers to be going this way against the water. I want them to be going this way with the water. So as I strip the fly in, it's going to pulse and add movement. You can notice it's starting to try and turn. So I'm going to go the other direction, away from me. That's what I'm looking for. You can see how the hackle is now wrapping over the estaz body. You can see that it's a tapered angle on the fly, and a couple extra wraps just up here at the head. For me, this creates pectoral fins, gill parts, and more of the head on the fly. I'm just going to, a couple wraps, cut the stem off. That's pretty much it. That's what I have as a woolly bugger. A couple extra wraps to ensure it's tight. I'm going to pull this forward to close that gap off between the end of the cone. And I'm now going to use my whip finisher, place the line here and here, and then I'm going to bring it over. Like that. 1, 2, 3. Alright, again, the whip finisher. It's going to wrap it around the line like this. You're making this strange figure 4. Now the other way is I take my finger and just wrap it a couple times. Put that over. And the third way, well, I just broke my line, so forget that. So there you go. A nice streamer. You can take it off, take a look at it, make sure it has the right dimensions that you're looking for. Now hopefully the fish is going to go for what's the organism's head and then reach down and grab the hook. I don't want the tail too long because I don't want the fish biting the actual tail. I want it to get the hook. If I wanted to, I would take some head cement, put a dollop or two in here just to make sure that knot does not come undone, and it's time to go fishing. And that wraps up Series 1, Episode 6, Tying Flies.